Good afternoon here in Las Vegas at Bally's Hotel, and good evening from the Europe side of things. We're here ready for the Mosconi Cup press conference. It's kicking off tomorrow. We've got Team Europe and Team USA ready to just fight till the cup, really. So 2 losses so far from Team USA. Now, if you haven't managed to come along to have a ticket for the Mosconi Cup, you can watch it on Sky Sports in the UK, DAZN and Viaplay, lots of other broadcasts as well globally. So if you're unsure about that, head to matchroompool.com. Now, if you feel like you want to come along after seeing this juicy press conference, you can turn up here, get tickets at the box office, or you can go to matchroompool.com. Now, I think there's about 50 tickets left each session. There's going to be 2,500 seats in that arena, the biggest we've ever had here in Las Vegas. We also have our betting partner, which is Bet Online. So if you want to have a look on the odds, you should go onto Matchroom Pool or Bet Online. You can go onto there. So we're going to kick this off. And first of all, I want to go to the home team. Team USA, Jeremy Jones, captain. JJ. A little bit different this year because you're actually just the captain. You're not stepping in to play.
That was the plan last year. Never
mind. How are you feeling going into this?
I feel great. I mean, my nerves are going, which I expected, but I wouldn't have it any other way. The guys had a couple of great days here. It's improving every minute, it seems like, and mixing like Americans mix.
Talk to me about the team dynamic this year. Obviously, you had that last-minute swap of the team where Earl didn't play. How are you feeling going into tomorrow with the team that you've got?
Well, just like I talked about from the beginning, the foundation's, I think, most solid that I've been on. I think when it comes to doubles play, these guys mix very well, and they respect each other very well. Everybody is held accountable, and they understand it, and really one goal in mind. So feeling great.
So you've got Skyler Woodward as the playing vice-captain this year. Talk to me about his input. Is he actually doing anything?
No, yeah. Well, you know, assistant captain or not, he's a big spirit in our team, and you know, he's been a big part of the backstage the last few years, in my opinion. Even when I was assistant, Johan and I, we talked to Shane, we talked to Sky. There's certain minds that just kind of get it, and you'd be ignorant not to ask Sky Woodward what he thinks.
How do you feel about managing Team USA when you're here in Las Vegas? There's a bit more distractions. You know, it's a bit different to being in London. And how do you sort of manage the team crowd? You know, we just welcomed you out to hear the press conference, and it's very, very vocal for Team USA. What are you telling these guys as they're going out there where they are the favorites?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the home crowd means a lot. They're going to embrace it. It's not always going to be easy out there, so of course we love you know, the better half of 2,500 on our side, and you know, just like we have to at times to reset. I think the crowd has to do the same thing and understand what's going on, and you know, just reflect on some good things. And I don't see it too much more difficult here in Vegas myself with these guys. We've been here on one mission the entire year, these guys to make the team and then come here and win the cup.
Now, I don't want to start with a negative, but you have obviously lost the last 2 years. Do you how do you go into that with this year? Do you try and look back at 2019 before when we were here in Las Vegas and that win? Or is it just about here and now, you're in the present, let's just focus on this Mosconi Cup?
No. Information's key. I mean, it's just a matter of how you look at that information and understand it. 2019 and 2018, even some of the losses you can reflect on in certain ways, and you should, to take things from it. But you know, last year we were in a great position. You know, we let a few things get away. Tip your hat to Europe; they took advantage. And this year we plan on trying to get in that same position again, just a little different outcome.
And finally, I'm just going to talk about the lag. It was something that I think kind of not slips the mind of Team USA, but it's always been such a strong point for Team Europe. Is that something that you've been working on, and is it going to be something that's going to crop up for this year?
Well, it's something, it's been on the mind. We did more of it today and going in. Understanding the lag a little bit better as a unit. Everyone has their own little personal ways to do it, but you can always improve. The lag looks like to me maybe not as meaningful this year, but you definitely want to be breaking the balls heel. And me personally, I want to break them first. So, yeah, the lag's important, and it's definitely being addressed.
And are you telling your team anything about the shot clock? Because we know that you have personal experience when it comes to...
Well, I thought that would come from Jason, really, but yeah, I mean, we can definitely learn from that one. But we learn from ourselves. I talked to Tyler about it. We all have little unique situations with the shot clock. We're real aware of it. Most of our team really not really too much of an issue, especially with me on the sideline. So there you go.
And credit to Marcel, that was the quickest I've ever seen a ball being cleaned at any of our events. So thank you, JJ.
Absolutely.
Alex Lely, Team Europe captain. Got some supporters here. I think most people would think that managing or captain Team Europe is easy because you've got this bunch of players that you can select from. They're classed as the favourites as such. I don't think it is an easy task.
I think any coach on either side will give 100%, and depending on the team and the set of players that you have to focus on different things. So my answer is there are a handful, and it's enjoyable, but there are 5 champions, and you got to find a way to make them gel and bond as good as possible.
Well, exactly that. You've got such a mixture of champions in your team. Big personalities, is it hard to make them kind of listen to one another or listen to you?
Yes and no. I mean, there are a couple of veterans and guys that have been around, and we're now, because this is my 3rd year in a row, and I can get back to the same things, and Shaw's on board, and Joshua and Albin. Alcaide was here last year, so there's a backbone in the team, so that makes it easier.
Let's just talk about practice so far. Obviously, you guys have spent quite a couple of days together. You came into Las Vegas, stayed in an Airbnb, and just had this time together, really. Now you've been practicing in the practice rooms back here on the sort of more official table. Anything you've seen in practice, any strong singles or anything like that?
Well, sharp right from the first day. So the downside is that they've been traveling a lot from here to there. I've been in the States, so a lot of pool playing. But the upside is that they're in shape. Okay. They looked sharp right from the first day. And what I liked when we started playing here, because the pockets are going to be tight. They're really tight. And I think it actually helped them, because if you're playing on tight pockets, you got to be there 100%. Otherwise, you're going to miss balls, hang out balls. And I think because of the table, they looked sharp from the first shot. So I saw maybe 1 shot per hour go astray, no more than that.
And the pocket sizes, they are a lot smaller. That's the corner and the middle pockets as well. So that's something new that we're seeing at our events. You talked a little bit about the breaking conditions when you arrived. I know you messaged me and said, the template rack and we're hand racking. Has that been a concern heading into the Mosconi Cup, where we've stuck with the 9 on the spot, the break box that we've adopted from the US Open, the European Open? Has that been a concern?
Well, concern, we'd like to know what the format is going to be exactly.
You knew what the format was.
No, exactly, like to what extent the balls will be tapped, how the build-up of the rack will be. But the break box and the breaking format that is being implemented in a matchroom tournaments, it works. It makes for good pool, a little bit more safety play, so that's good.
But tougher for the teams?
Tougher, yeah, but then again, like over the past couple of months, we've seen that the players, they find a way to make it work, because actually pretty quickly they were becoming very consistent on the break. It's a skill break, it's not very impactful, but the only thing in Mosconi Cup is race to 5 alternate break, more pressure, so it will be a little bit harder to break with the same consistency.
Now, you've captained for the last 2 years, which have actually, the first was behind closed doors, obviously recently. and then in London with Alexandra Palace. You're here on USA turf. How do you feel that's going to be different for you? I mean, it's going to be a 70-30 split of the American audience versus the European.
Well, you know, the turn up now, that already tells the story. Big difference with last year in Ali Pali. And I want to thank the European fans that made the trip to come over and support us. But in regard to intensity and noise, me and the players, and I think the same goes for them, we just want noise and drama and intensity. And if they're wearing red or if they're wearing blue, that comes second.
Okay. Now, the teams have not submitted their lineups for tomorrow yet. We normally do this prior to the press conference, but it's still in the afternoon here. We want to give the captains a bit more time. Anything you want to give away on the lineup for tomorrow, or are you going to keep that close to your chest?
Well, no, we're looking to win the first point. Yeah, the team match, we haven't won we haven't won it since 2017, and we got our eyes set on that one.
Okay. I'm going to head to Francisco. Come on, guys, a round of applause. The US Open champion, FSR.
Oh my God.
Francisco, what are you drinking and eating at the moment? You seem to be just winning everything.
I don't know, to be honest. Just to be close to this champion.
Now, the ranking structure. This is the first Mosconi Cup, the first time where we've used the transparent 9-ball world rankings to qualify for both Team USA and Team Europe. You are the perfect example of this meritocracy, the transparency of qualifying for the Mosconi Cup. How's that been for you this year? Because you have proven this is how you get on the team. You play the ranking events and you qualify.
Yeah, it's like a dream to be here in Mosconi. That's my first time. I don't know how I'm gonna play because I never play Mosconi, but I give everything. Yeah, that's for sure. And this year it was unbelievable year for me. That's crazy. I won the US Open, I won the World Able, so I still can't believe it. But to be honest, I was thinking every single day to this moment. So I can't wait for tomorrow.
Exciting.
Oh my God. So good.
Obviously, you won the World Cup of Pool with David, who's like a brother to you, family, friend. What's the feeling going to be like to play this event alongside him?
Yeah, it's amazing experience for me, also for David. We trained a lot for make it happen, and this year we're talking about every moment about we want to make Mosconi, but one of us is okay, but together to play together is amazing feeling, and I think it's gonna be the best experience for our life.
How would you have felt if he hadn't have made the team? Would you have felt a little bit less confident, perhaps, or?
Yeah, I feel more confident with him because we practice together every day, so I think he helped me a lot. And also this champion, we were working together this week, and this is unbelievable. I feel great.
Now, you've got a lot of Spanish fans coming over. I believe it's in the 50 sort of numbers that are all flown over.
Yeah.
Now, and your dad has also flown over, and he doesn't like flying, I believe. So you are playing your first ever Mosconi Cup with your dad here watching. How's that going, Phil?
Yeah, this amazing feeling. I want to say thank you to all the fans from Europe, but especially for Spanish fans. I know it's a long trip, especially my father. He has scared to fly, and he promised me, if you make Mosconi, I'm going to go. So, but he's here, he's ready, and the team's ready.
Look, I know you are the US Open champion, and that takes a lot to win that. But you haven't played in a Mosconi Cup before. How nervous are you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, US Open, I think that's my biggest win ever. But I think this is going to be my best experience.
Okay. Thank you, Francisco.
Thank you so much.
I'm heading to the world champion, Shane Van Boening. Here he is. Are you feeling confident coming into this Mosconi Cup? I mean, you are the world pool champion.
I mean, after I won the world championship, thankfully, after 19 years, I thought I was never going to win the world championship. But I'm really thankful to win the World Championship, and that'll give me a confidence booster for this year's Mosconi Cup.
There was an interview a couple of days that the Team USA did, and all of them all said, except from Skyler, because he rooted for himself, you for the MVP for this year. They would all like to see you get that MVP. Is that something that you've got on your list to do?
Well, I know Johnny Ouschan never won the MVP, and he always wanted to win the MVPs, but, it happens. You got great players playing on both sides. You just never know who's going to be the MVP. I would like to win it.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
How does it feel having the full squad behind you like that?
We got a lot of fans here, and, I'm going to try my best, and I'm going to give 100%.
Now, by the end of this week, you will be the first player in event history to have played 100 Mosconi Cup matches.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's a huge, huge achievement. I mean, what does that mean to you?
That's a lot of years, to be honest. I'm losing more hair. Stress. That's a lot of years, 16 years on the Mosconi Cup, and I'm thankful to be here, to be honest, and looking a couple more years. So just see what happens.
Your world champion, Shane Van Boening, everyone. Joshua. Now, Joshua never gives me more than 2 words, I think, whenever I ask him a question at a press conference. So, talk me through the year following the UK Open win.
Well, it was just an amazing year. Won many, many events, UK Open, World Pro Masters, World Games. I think this year couldn't be really better. And I think my worst performance was maybe a tied 17th place in playing I don't know how many events. So it was just incredible this year.
What's your thoughts from 2019? He laughs. In Las Vegas, it was in 2019. I remember it, and it was just such a roller coaster. And I saw the emotion from you, and I've never really seen that before. How do you come into it for this year? Do you put that all sort of behind you, or does that crop up as you're flying back into Vegas?
I think 2019 was for myself a great experience. Before I lost to Skyler, I played amazing. I had also the whole crowd against me because I was playing with them and I deserved it, to be honest. But it was just great. You could see it was meaning everything for me. So after I lost to Skyler, he played amazing, but just hurt. But I watched those matches every time at home. Of course, maybe there are some tears again. But no, it was just great. After that year and having these kind of beasts next to me are just going to be incredible this year, and we will fight everything or just give everything.
And just talk about the team dynamic for this year. You've been in the practice room, you've been hanging out and everything. How is it, this lineup?
I think so far it's the best team ever, in my opinion. I've ever been with them. In the house we had such a great time. We have so many loves. In the practice room, it's just crazy. But yeah, if we bring it to the table also, then yeah, it's going to be class week.
Thank you, Joshua. I got some
you.
full sentences there. Brilliant. Skyler Woodward. Playing vice captain, first time ever. Now, as Jeremy said, we did notice that you took that leadership role in the last couple of years. Talk us through that role for this year. What have you been doing differently? Have you actually been doing anything? Are you enjoying it?
No, I don't do nothing. No, I'm just kidding. It's an honor just to get this role, and makes me want to prove myself more and show that USA still stands and we can still compete. But I try to bring the team together. We're 6 guys, but I'm trying to make us all one. So I'm just helping Jeremy when he needs help, but Jeremy's in charge.
He's like, yeah. Has it made you grow more as a person or as a player, mature more, just stepping into a role like this? Because you're another leader in the team, and when it gets tough out there, and you might be 4-0 down, for instance, you've got to step up and you've got to pull this team together.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep everybody accountable and keep everybody in it. Not let anybody get down. I'm gonna push everybody. Like you said, if we're down 4-0, I'm gonna go out there and pump him up, try to get him to win. Come back and get the match or something. I'm just gonna push everybody.
I know you're not going to go out 4-0. I know it's definitely not happening. Sorry, Team Europe. You've got some great memories from 2019. You had back-to-back MVP titles. Are you setting for a third this week? You said it in your interview.
Well, they said who will be MVP. I just voted for myself, but I hope Shane gets it. He deserves one. He deserves the MVP. Well, because what else has he? He has everything else. Needs it. But the key is just to win. The key is to win. MVP is just extra. We're just here to win.
I love that. Now, you've been part of the team for quite a few years now. What's going to be different this year from Team USA than what we saw in 2021?
Just like Jeremy said, we made a couple mistakes when we were up, and they capitalized on everything and took control. But we're just gonna, do like we did last year and try to keep our lead and not make those mistakes that we did make, and just do our best.
You said that when you were looking at the vice captain role and about the lineups, you were saying that was something that you actually really quite enjoyed looking at, and you were involved before. Is that something you've been looking at for tomorrow's lineup? Are you really involved on that side?
Yeah. Me and Jeremy's been talking a lot, and I've always enjoyed the strategy part of like team sports and stuff my whole life. So I'm really enjoying being in the spot and getting to help Jeremy a lot with the lineup. So it's been good though. It's been fun having to think about it and figure out every which way we can actually go with everything.
So if there's a mistake on that, it's your fault.
Well, yeah, it's all my fault. I'll take the blame.
Right, thank you, Skyler. I'm going to head to Albin. European Open champion, Albin. European Open champion in August. How's that coming into the Mosconi Cup?
Well, it's already like 3-4 months ago. But yeah, it was a great tournament. Had some sweet revenge on Shane, of course, after the World Championships. And I think it's the last time I played with the hand drag balls. I think we both don't have good experience with it, me and Shane. But I'm looking forward. Race to 5 could be different.
Now, with yourself and the Mosconi Cup, we feel that there's always a lot of high expectations for you to deliver when it comes to this event because, you're an outstanding player. Last year, it wasn't your greatest performance. So do you sort of reflect on that? Do you look at that and say kind of what went wrong? How do I adjust moving into this year? Have you looked at that?
Oh, of course. I think we also talked about it, especially on the first day when we did this foul on 4-4 with Eklund. I think that kind of hit me quite hard, especially for the next day. I wasn't really, I was kind of worried, to make another mistake, and that, it was a tough year last year. But I always have high expectations. I'm that type of guy. It doesn't matter which sport I play. I want to be the best, and but that's something I think you need to be the best in some sport.
Now you've spent the last sort of couple of weeks focusing for the Mosconi Cup, coming into practice here on these tables, practicing the braking conditions, and like we said with that hand rack. How's your form feeling at the moment coming into this week?
I think it was quite important to go back home. Mm-hmm. 1 month in the US is enough for me. Some need more, or some really don't care. Like Fran and David, they've been there for 2 months, and also Josh. But I'm just a different person when it comes to that. I'm feeling confident. I had some practice sessions at home with Alex, and of course now a great time with the team. It's the best team bonding I think I ever been involved in Team Europe. So many laughs, maybe sometimes a little bit too much, on the table, but better too much than too less.
Who's the worst one that draws that out of the team? Jason. Thank you, Albin. Tyler Styer. Talk to me about your form at the moment. How are you heading into the Mosconi Cup this year?
Yeah, I think I'm hitting the ball the best I ever have, honestly, and just trying to show the best form you can in the practice room takes pressure off the rest of the guys. If each one of us just do our job, it takes the pressure off of everybody. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Now, we always see that you're always in that practice room, crack of dawn till right to the end of the night, probably, and Earl as well. What's it like with this team dynamic and, your own attitude to playing? Because, you go to these tournaments and it's yourself that's out there. Now you're part of a team and it's the team dynamic. So how do you feel with yourself and this team?
Yeah, all year we're trying to win singles events, right? But don't get me wrong, every one of us think about the Mosconi Cup every single day. So we're trying to win for ourselves, but we're also trying to get in the best shape possible for each other, when December comes around.
What have you changed in your game and your approach to this Mosconi Cup from 12 months from that last defeat in London?
A lot more structured practice, just working on things that I struggled with before. I'm just trying to round myself off as best as possible and just be in the best shape I can for these guys.
What's it like having Earl on the team?
I probably shouldn't say it on camera, but it's pretty freaking awesome. It really is. It really is. So that's all I'm going to say.
Oscar, I'm going to come to you. You're another player that's a great example of our 9-ball world rankings where you've qualified through off of those rankings from playing the different events. How's that transparency and finally, a sense of meritocracy when it comes to the Mosconi Cup? You can use all year to earn your way into the event.
To be honest, I kind of retired from pool because of it. 4 years ago, I lost a lot of hope. And when he came out the rankings, it was like, all right, this is my chance. So this one means a lot to me. So it's cool.
Talk to me about your contribution to the team. What do you bring to the team that the others don't? Now, I feel like you're more calm, collected. Is that what you bring?
Yeah, I'm pretty level-headed. I'm pretty versatile, I think. I feel like I can play doubles with all different types of personalities. I'm never too high, never too low. Kind of like a role player. You know what I mean? So I figure I can. I'm 37, so I feel I'm getting older. I'm like 2 kids really age you out. It's just. Yeah, I feel like I've been around the game a lot. I've played some really high stakes cash games throughout my whole career. I've been under the gun, where you're betting every dollar you have to your name. Not recommended. So that's real pressure, you have to win to pay the rent. Luckily, I don't do that anymore. So, I think I have a lot of seasoning when it comes to that, the high intensity stuff.
Now, I did see in one of the interviews you said about Skyler's poor taste in country music, and I'm a little bit upset with you on that. Because who doesn't love a bit of country music?
I like Zach Brown Band. I go to their concerts all the time. So I know it's not real country, but I just, I have different taste in music than Skyler.
Very unhappy with you, Oscar.
Yeah, I'm from California.
Thank you, Oscar. David.
Hola.
Go, David.
Amiga.
Hola, amigo.
It's a running joke, so I do know that means girl. David, a lot of controversy you making the team this year. What was it like being around all of that talk, all of that online? Did you just shut off social media for a little while, ignore it? Because, by the way, he is the World Cup of Pool champion. deserves to be here. Absolutely. And one of the most experienced players when it comes to a Mosconi Cup. Out there with the team, I mean, you're phenomenal out there. So I think you deserve it. But what was that like?
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. First, I want to say it's a pleasure to play against these champions, especially my American brother, Oscar. But for the next week, they really don't have any chance against Europe. For for this question is tough for me, no? I think everybody have family, everybody have father, mother, everything. When you see in some social media somebody talk about crazy, you say, oh wow, it's not my mistake. But I respect for everybody. I love playing USA. I love playing for all fans. But I try to give my best. I try and they respect myself.
Now, you've got Francisco on the team with you for the first time. How is that feeling?
Oh, I don't know. We worked together the last 10 years, maybe. So many times we talk about our dream to win World Cup pool or play Mosconi Cup. We talk about Mosconi Cup. It's tough. You know? It's three players by ranking, 2 players wild card. It's so difficult. But our dream is ready now. We will enjoy this moment. It's enough. We try and give our best.
And the Mosconi Cup is an event like no other. How do you deal with those situations in that arena, even when you played Jeremy that time with that time foul? How different is it just out there?
When I played last year, when I played with Jeremy, I played so many matches again, better in partner or in single. It's amazing. He plays so good. And in the last shot, I can remember when he said to referee, please clean the cue ball. I look at the time and say, uh-oh. And he go to clean the cue and say, no chance. But I don't like, to be honest, I don't like to beat him for this moment, but it's the rule for everybody. Sorry, Jeremy. Jeremy is a champion, he's a legend. It's so an honor to play with him.
Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Earl the Pearl, there's no introduction needed for you. Earl Strickland. Earl, just talk me through your thoughts when you got that call up for the Mosconi Cup from JJ.
I was honored, I'll tell you. It's hard to believe that I'm here at 61 years old. And there's a lot of critics that think that I don't belong here, and I probably don't. But I can still play. And a lot of people are here just to heckle me. If you were to show me any kind of consideration and relish the moment that I'm relishing, I'd shoot your liver out. Well, you're not here for that. You're here for a sideshow. You're here to heckle me. In golf, this would be a monumental moment that a guy could be as old and fossil as me and be able to play. And I can't wait. I wish I can live to be 100 years old to see if any of these guys can match me at 61. Tell you that. I'm not going to engage this week. I'm sick of that. I've exercised so vigorously you can't even imagine it. Running, sit-ups, practicing, just to be heckled. I have to be in better condition than any of these guys to deal with the formality that I'm dealing with. But that's the way it is. When you're the greatest player on earth, period. You still can't outshoot me, I can tell you that. when I'm staying in good shape and my equipment's right, but the only thing that I don't have is peace of mind. I don't have that. They got it, but I don't have it. Any more questions?
Oh, you said you're 61 years of age, and by the way, you look in great shape for it. You've said to me you go running, you're going into the gym in the morning. Is that what just keeps you fresh and ready to get into the practice table?
Well, I want to go to the gym after this conference, but they want to go eat. I'm telling you, pool's the hardest game in the world. People don't realize it. They just don't realize how hard a game this is. You know, basketball players and football players and golfers and tennis players. The reason that they don't play pool is because they know the difficulty of the game. They don't want to embarrass themselves. People that don't play pool are fools. Pure fools. I'm telling you right now, you want me to watch another athlete? Couldn't fill my shoes for a New York minute. You want me to watch somebody play soccer, or you want me to watch somebody else? Yeah, and you won't watch me make fun of me and call me a pool shark or hustler. I ain't no hustler. I never have been. From the time I left home, 13 years old, I was a headhunter looking to beat the best player ever. Don't call a guy a hustler that does that. These guys are hustlers. Especially Shane. Shane would rob a nun. Not just kidding. But listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, you'll never see another guy like me. I'm telling you, you're never going to see another guy like me. And I'm going to try to stay here as long as I can. But I don't appreciate the fact that you keep pushing my buttons. And you won't relish the fact that I'm here and I'm great. That's what I don't like about pool. That's what I don't like about the fans. They don't know how to act, just like that guy right there. Come over here, I'll pimp slap you.
Oh, you've said some really nice.
Wit.
You've said some really nice things about your teammates in the interviews. How are you feeling with this team dynamic this year?
Well, they started exercising a little late. But I will say one thing about this event that I think makes it a very level playing field is the equipment. The equipment is more difficult than I've ever seen in this event. And if these guys over here think that they're going to make every shot, they're fools.
We are. We're going to make every shot, every ball.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, we are.
No, you won't.
We shoot straighter than all of you guys.
And I'm not engaging with your bullshit either.
Oh, just on that, is there anyone on Team Europe that you've got your eyes on to take out this event?
I just told you, you guys kicked me off the Mosconi Cup in Malta because I told you the equipment was flimsy and amateur. That's when you kicked me off the event.
Don't think I was around at that time, but...
None of the people were here. I mean, there's nobody here from that event. But this is tough equipment, and you're not just going to get up and rout each other. It's not going to happen. You got to play like Alex said. You got to play a lot of good saves, a lot of good kicks, and some good jumps, and it makes some really quality outs, really. And if you got a long, tough shot, you ain't got no guts to shoot it, I'll tell you that. Now, I'm not saying you. It might be all of us. We all might duck on a shot that we normally would shoot. You're going to see a lot of that here. So the table's going to break tough. It's going to be an interesting event, I'll promise you. Don't ever change the pockets. Keep them the way they are. It'll always be interesting this way.
Earl Strickland, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, Jason Shaw, MVP.
Back to back.
Back to back, sorry. I'm very sorry about that. Jason, now, you get a lot of stick sometimes about being the wild card pick. Because, you know, people say, oh, it's just because he's British and he's the entertainer. But I say bullshit to that, because you just won the International Open a month ago, 6 weeks ago. So fair play to you. You deserve to be here on this team.
I was born for this, you know. I belong here. This is something that I relish. I think no matter how many people were there, I rise to the occasion. And when I step in there, I treat it like a fight. And it just shows you the last couple of years, I produced the goods when needed.
Now, you are that sort of, you did naturally become like a secondary leader with Alex as well the last 2 years. How has that vice captain role been for you for this year?
Yeah, it's been good, obviously, to get the team and be behind the team and do everything. I'm always supportive. I'm always keeping the energy high in the room. No matter if someone gets beat, we're right behind them. So yeah, I feel like I'm stepping into that role good, and whenever Alex needs me to be there, I'm there to help at any moment.
Sorry, I think there was some heckling.
No, I see Earl over there saying the pockets because the pockets are big. Well, I watched Earl win maybe 20 tournaments when I was younger over the years on absolute buckets. So that, to me, him saying the pockets were small, I'm sure he won like 4 or 5 world championships with 5-inch pockets. So he can say whatever he wants. I know what the pockets are like in the back room. I know how tight they are, but we shoot straighter than all of them, and that's facts. And under the gun, we produce better under the gun, and that's a fact too. And when we step out there and we're under the gun, we won't be ducking no shots. We'll be going for our shots, we'll be hitting the heart of the pocket, and they'll be screaming like little bitches.
I think you should have mic dropped that at the end. Any response from Team USA there to Jason? Oh.
Yeah, we're not here to win the press conference, really. Not what we're here for.
Jason, just talk about, again, your vice-captain role. Talk about the team dynamic. There's been a lot of talk about, you know, this might be the strongest lineup yet. Each player has said that they're really enjoying this team. How's it been backstage, really, and how are you liking this lineup?
Yeah, so I was told I would be the vice, so I booked a big house in Vegas. We had pool table, swimming pool, lots of games, lots of fun. We were cooking dinner every night. We were really bonding as a team. And as I played, 2016 was my first year. And I have to say, team bonding, this is the best it's been. In any team I've played in, and I played in a lot of strong teams. Just the fun and you know, we're all joking around all the time. You know, nobody's really down on themselves. And then when we come here, it's all business. And in the back, when we seen the pockets were tight and the way it should be. Like Alex says, we played yesterday, I think in 2-3 hours there was like 1 ball missed, and we're ready. We're here to win another Mosconi Cup. We're here to make it 3 in a row, and we're here to show the fans a good time and show them that Europe are the best team.
Now, speaking of the fans, we do have on day 2 the first match, the fans' choice singles game. Now, currently in the lead is, I'm not obviously going to tell you that because that would be silly. But all I'm going to say is it's very, very interesting. So if you haven't made your vote yet, go to matchroompool.com and you can vote for your Team Europe singles versus your Team USA. So that's the second day, match 1. Thank you, Jason.
Earl, I like your shoes. Can I borrow them?
Have you took a look at your stomach?
Hey, this is what happens when you win lots of money all year. You eat like a king.
Happens, you ain't gonna make it to 61 and play like me, I'll tell you that.
You're crazy to be playing at 61. I'll be lying on the beach somewhere, filling my tummy up.
You look like a beast well.
Well, I'm excited for tomorrow. I don't know about you guys.
This is luck anyway.
Don't forget, we start at 11 o'clock tomorrow here, local time in Las Vegas. We're going to go to some questions to the floor. So this gentleman here, a microphone is coming to you.
This is luck.
Earl?
No, it's on.
Test. All right. Earl, this is for you. I wanted you to know, I wanted to shout out to you a little bit because last year you flew all the way to England and had to watch the whole entire Mosconi Cup from your motel room, right? And I think you deserve a huge applause for you doing that and then still be willing to come back this year and play for America. So I just wanted to say thank you from all of America, and I appreciate the hell out of it. That was it.
Well, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jeremy. Jeremy picked me, and I think Jeremy felt bad for me because I didn't get my opportunity last year. And it's I'm not here. I didn't qualify, and I know that, and I probably couldn't qualify. I don't play enough events. A lot of these guys, if my game was in check, and I had good sponsorship, and I could play the events, I could beat a lot of these guys. I'd knock a lot of these guys down. If you guys think you can beat me every time you play me, you're crazy. You're just simply crazy. I'm too good a player, especially when I'm exercising and staying in good shape and playing and traveling. I still want to play, but it is difficult for me to try to qualify, and I want to thank Jeremy for giving me that opportunity to play.
Next question.
My question's to Earl. Earl, you're 61, over here, Earl. 61, no one on that stage knows 9-ball pool as good as you. Where is your game right now at 61 as opposed to when you was in the prime, whether that was in your 20s or your 30s?
I'll tell you, I'm really shooting good right now. I've touched on a few things. My equipment right now, I've really made a dramatic change in my equipment and some other things. And that's what keeps me intact. Like Efren Reyes, the reason why Efren Reyes really faltered as he got just a little bit older, he never changed his equipment. You've got to keep changing your equipment. You notice all these guys are playing with carbon now and layered tips, and they've evolved and changed too. But I watched all the great players in my life that they just never changed, kept changing and evolving. I have. And I was the first one to touch on the long cue, putting the extension on the end of the cue. All these guys are playing with long cues now. You should thank me.
I did thank you. I did say in an
You
interview
did.
that
I
Shane
will.
and me followed what you
I
did.
will say you did thank me once,
You
didn't
did say to me before, you need to try this, and I tried it, and you did tell me it was the way forward. And
You did thank me.
yes,
Jason.
I did.
I say
I
that.
did.
You did.
Listen, I got a lot of respect for you. I know you. I've stayed with you. We've had a lot of good times.
Yeah.
And
We're
I got a
still
lot of
friends.
respect. I know that we're still friends, but this week we're enemies.
I know.
You know that.
Look, no matter how many differences we have, I'm still your friend, and I still like you.
Of course.
And that goes for every one of you, even you guys. So back to Carl. Like I said, when I touched on the long cue, I told Mike Galassi, I had him build the extension, and I started playing with the long stick. And I told him, I said, I have a distinct advantage. He says, are you crazy? I says, no, I'm telling you. I have a distinct advantage with this long cue. And I went and won the very first event. I beat Appleton, I beat Mika, and Shane got knocked out of my way, thank God, but I think I'd have still beat you anyway. I beat every great player. It was a big tournament. It was a Mizrac Open. Mizrac just died. They had a Mizrac Open in Miami. I hadn't been playing very good, but just as soon as I touched on that extension on the cue and making the cue 65, 64 inches, my game gelled right back again. And, of course, I went through some bad moments after that, and I didn't play well. But that's what's keeping me intact. And these shoes, you want to know about the shoes? They're very, very deadly.
They're heavy?
They're deadly.
Oh, I thought you said they're heavy. They look heavy, though.
They're deadly. This is a secret weapon. You don't know it.
There's actually, I was speaking to them, there's a little kid that I've got playing. He's 7 and he wears shoes like that. I thought you'd borrowed them from him.
They look like Pee Wee Herman, don't they? I'm going to be Pee Wee Herman beating you guys. But anyway, you know, we're serious. We're here to win, obviously, and then afterwards we can be friends again. And that's what kept me intact. Shoes. These shoes have really made me a better player. Listen to me now. In the last few months, I wish I'd have wore these shoes at international. I might have been playing you in the finals.
Yeah, there was still been the same outcome. I would have won.
But I really believe these shoes have made a difference in my game because I always wanted to be taller, and I can reach a few more shots easier. And it changes the position of your cue. It's a few little things like that. I've changed my tip. I've changed my shaft dramatically, Carl. I'm almost 15 millimeter. Unheard of. You understand? Unheard of in a professional game. I've gone to a pure phenolic ferrule. Okay? G2 Mori tip, comparable to the Elk Master. Can't find Elk Masters anymore. They're done. Can't find them. Can't find good ones. So I had to find something that was comparable to what I liked. These are the things that keep me in check. And my health. I have to exercise. I have to stay a certain weight. I have to really work hard. All these things to keep up with these guys. They're ahead of me right now, sure. But I'm going to be honest with you. If I was 30 years old and I knew the things I know right now, I'd be the #1 player in the world. I really believe that. But my age keeps me from being there right now. But that's what keeps me in check, and you got to keep evolving. And you guys heard it from the horse's mouth. As you get older, you got to keep changing. Can't stay the same. It's impossible.
Earl Strickland's secret weapon is his shoes. Any more questions from the floor? Just one at the front here.
This one's for Oscar. Who's your all-time favorite player? Old, young, gone, here? Somebody sitting next to you?
Yeah, that's an easy one. It's Dad. Yeah.
Who?
My dad.
Okay. Besides your dad, thank you.
He's a great guy. I played against him.
I had a lot of people I learned from, a lot. Jose Perica, Kim Davenport. They gave me some pointers. Not many people teach you stuff in pool. That's one thing I've learned. A lot of people are pretty secretive about what they know or what they've learned. Jose Perica was probably one of the few people who went out of their way to show me some stuff. And, I never forgot it. And Jose Perica, really, I mean, he's, in my opinion, the greatest all-around player who's ever lived. In terms of playing one pocket, snooker, liability on the 6x12, banks. He played everything so well. So Jose Perica.
Thank you. Any more questions?
I have a question for both Alex and Jeremy in terms of lineups. You know, there's a lot of strategy involved with how you put teams together, how you put doubles together, who you're going to put out there, singles. Do you look at it from the standpoint of at all guessing what the opponent's going to do, or do you have a set lineup in mind for especially the first couple of days and how you want to run out your teams?
Well, I just look at us and our team. So, you know, who I think mixes well with another player, who mixes well, who would be better early in the session, who would be better later in the session, who is a big points player, who is good at waiting day 1, day 2 and play a little less and bring him in on day 3. So I'll look at those things, and I think there's enough there to consider. And then you could always also look at what the opponents might do, but I don't. Did that answer your question? Yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of the same. I mean, you got to think about your team first. You know, Alex and I both played in this event before, so I think we're both kind of similar players in a manner. But you think about back-to-back matches with certain players, it's a good thing. Certain players, it's not. Of course, certain times of the day. Maybe as the event evolves a little more, you start to maybe think about a few things as far as what your opponents may do, because the score will tell you so. And then if a certain player reaches out to you and says something in particular, you certainly have to pay that some attention. So basically similar to Alex.
And I believe that's it on questions. So that's a wrap here from the press conference. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's come along. Thank you for the teams, for their time. They're going to head back to the practice room. And again, if you've watched this and you're excited to see Earl's shoes in person, and you want to heckle Team Europe and you're here in Las Vegas, come along to Bally's Hotel here. And you can buy tickets at the box office. There's only a few tickets left, but you can come every day. So make sure you come in. And if you cannot be here, tune in. Sky Sports, 7 p.m. from the UK. We're here local time, 11 a.m. It's tomorrow. Don't miss it. The Mosconi Cup.
Yes.